Morning, friends. As we're gathering, please feel free to add a little comment in the chat. Um, I do know that I think you have to be like signed in with an account um, with YouTube in order to make a comment in the chat. Kind of unfortunately, but just so you know, that's how it works. But it's just so fun to see people showing up. So as we go ahead and begin, I've really noticed how it's important to kind of do like that prep work. Like even when you just sit down here, that like now I'm arranging, I'm getting ready to kind of not only adjusting the body, but there really is like a natural adjusting of kind of attitude adjustment and um yeah, just that hopefully just a feeling of gladness, like ah, wow, I'm taking this break. I'm going to take this time and practice and just really simple seeing the goodness and doing this. Please close your eyes. It feels okay. And ah. So we start just grounding, just aware. I'm aware of the body grounding. Really make sure that your body is comfortable and, because otherwise you'll just feel a little cranky. But then there's effort that we put in, like, oh, yeah, this is a yoga pose. I'm already in here. So, what it feel like? So, yoga poses, I really am struck sometimes by that, just that little phrase, like BKS Iyengar said that alignment is enlightenment. So, all he's pointing out in a way is that when we arrange our body in a way that it's very spacious, like this would be very life giving, that all of the everything flowing within us can just start to easily flow. The breath, our whole the digestive tract, it's like has a little space. Your blood can flow. Whole the tubing of the lymphatic system, nerves, you're not pinching any nerves. Taking a few breaths, if that feels okay, is like you breathe and you kind of feel into this. Like, yeah, this can help. Physical sense of lightheartedness. Relaxing the face and just noticing, oh, I could let go of if there's any tension around your face or soften your eyes. And then if you're sitting in a way that it makes sense to take hands on your lap, like on your legs, and actually press your legs down, right at the very top of your thighs, almost near your hip joints, that you're just pressing straight down and just feel that heavy grounding down. Almost to the point where when you press down, it actually releases your pubic bone down. So in the front of your body, that kind of pubic bone dropping down. And there's a little arch of the lower back, then, like your lumbar. There's that natural curve. And then just feel like that grounding down as you then just lift up through your spine. And be aware of your whole back body lengthening, like even like the back of your neck. And let this just arrange through your throat. The whole neck is just open. And that might lead to this lightheartedness. And then just reaching the arms out. And as you reach your arms out, continue to ground your legs, like where you were pressing. Grounding, lifting. Grounding, lifting. Now as the arms come all the way up, you just reach up. Keep the legs heavy. And just go a little back and forth. You just like reach one arm up, or like your rib cage is lifting a little bit. And then you just switch sides. You lift the other side. And just do this like gently back and forth where like you can still feel the grounding of the legs and even like that little lumbar curve. Relaxing your mouth, your eyes. Now we just reach the arms way out to the side again. So you're not like lifting your arms above your shoulders or just out to the side. So you're going to go ahead and tip over to your right side and just take your right fingers down. Let that left arm just continue to reach to the left. And you're going to just play with your right hand all the way down. Possibly even bend your right elbow a little bit. But your body will tell you like, okay, that's enough. So big side stretch, even your head, like you kind of drop your right ear down. Reach through those left fingers, light-hearted. Move your jaw around a little here and feel how you're bringing space in. You could move your head a little bit, just feel that inside of your head kind of open up. And then we release. We go to the other side. Just drop that left hand down. Keep reaching the right arm just out to the right. You don't need to lift it up. If you do that, if it just feels like, oh, that feels right. Of course you can. I can't see you. So that left hand is down and maybe bending the left elbow. Like you just start to drop into this. Just right, like for your neck. And there's still energy in your spine here, like guiding you into this. Move your jaw. Move your belly, like you could breathe to your belly. And then you come up, you reach all the way up, both arms reach up. And I know you can't see my hands, but I'm going to circle my hands around. So let the hands circle so your wrists start to move. Ground your legs again, like feel like heavy grounding down so that your ribs start to lift up. Good. And then the arms come down. We're going to let go of seated pose. You might take your socks off if you still have your socks on. And we're going to come right up to standing. Okay. So as you come up to standing, feet are parallel, and you're just going to start to just do a little swinging of your arms. And the knees are a little bouncy. Soles of the feet nice and open and grounded. So we'll just do a little kind of variety of different movements here. So as you let this go, you're just going to take your feet maybe a little wider and slightly point your feet out to the side. We're just going to start by reaching. So we're going to take maybe left arm and just like reach it over towards the right. Way over. And then you just switch. You go over to the side. Just reach that right arm over to the side. Now you might keep your feet down as you go side to side here. Or You might find like one heel lifts up a little bit. So you just do this in a way that you do feel grounded. This is a good one for just following like sensation, what needs to stretch here? Where are you reaching? Hmm. So that the side of the body and even the lower back really starts to just get a little stretching, releasing some surface tension. Good. And then you just start to reach up a little higher, up, up, and really lift the heart. A little more straight up. You're grounding, but lifting. Now, as the arms come down, they come all the way down. And then you just move into the real twist where you're rotating your shoulders. The arms are just swinging. You're not lifting your arms at all. Twist, 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 twist. There's still that effort, though, just that light-hearted, right at the heart center. Up. Good. As you let this go, the arms release. So you're going to take your feet now just parallel, and we're going to move into first of all, a little squat. So that as you start to sit down here a little bit, you can take your hands just on your thighs, but make sure you're not rounding your back at first here. So just be able to lengthen your spine, sitting back. But we are going to go into a cat and cow. You're going to hold your legs as they are, pull your navel in. Scoop your tailbone under, just drop your head. And then untuck your tailbone, really untuck, and then reach your chest forward. There's that cow pose. And you just take this back and forth, being led by your tailbone. You could do this without a lot of pelvic movement, but we are moving the pelvis back and forth. And you probably are able to tell like that tailbone is moving. Keeping your aware of your neck, head moving. Good. And then as you come up, you push into your feet, arms come all the way up. Strong, straight legs, look straight forward. And then do a few side to side. You drop your right arm, your left arm reaching up. And then you switch. Left arm down, right arm up. Back and forth. So a lot of these little spine warm-ups here. And being grounded. And then as you let go, arms come down. Now you might move over to the wall here. Like I'm just going to take a little touch with my right hand touching the wall. I'm balancing like on my right leg. And I'm just going to let that left leg swing. Now, I'm just exploring like how that leg wants to move. It's kind of vigorous. I'm really swinging my leg. But it helps me establish that strength and steadiness in my standing leg. And up through the crown of the head. So the pelvis is fairly stable. Now, just take that left foot on the inner right calf. Move to a basic tree pose. Tall. Light through your throat, maybe palms together in front of your heart, or you could reach your arms up. Letting go, stay tall, but you could let that be an awareness of your heart. Like your heart is tall and lifted. Switch. I'm just going to rotate. Left hand touching the wall. And then letting that right leg. So when the right leg is swinging, it's good to maybe start small and kind of test it out. Like, how does that feel in your hip? And then carefully into a more vigorous action. Keeping that standing leg, it has to really brace itself so you're not tipping all over the place. It is nice to have just that little touch on the wall, barely touching. Is there still that quality of lightheartedness? Now, as you go to tree pose, you just release, you take that right foot on the inner left shin calf, and you play with that pose, tree. Soft lips, mouth, not too serious, but very alert. Letting go, foot comes down. And you could just return to your mat here. Let's just take some nice, loose, kind of sun breaths, but we're going to do one action where hands start down. You're going to start just circling your hands here. I'm just like swirling my hands around, and then they're going to keep swirling as I reach up, reach up, reach up, reach way up, almost the back bend. So reach, lift the chest, look up. And then the arms come down. You reach the arms way out to the side. The hands could keep moving here, but then all the way over. And as you go over, just kind of come to stillness. Just drop your head. First, really deep forward bend. Notice the difference if you like slightly tip forward. And imagine the backs of the legs straight up and down. Now, as you come up, you start to swirl your hands around. So when the hands swirl, they kind of circle in one direction, and they might circle in the other direction. Just play with that direction. Start to bring your arms up, arms up, arms up. Ground your feet, lift up like a back bend. And then your arms start to go way out to the side. Light heart. Folding all the way over. Coming up, let the hands move around, move around, move around. And this time, as you come up, you interlace your fingers up there, and you're going to rotate your palms up. So, as we're standing here, we're going to practice lifting the heels, the heel lift, and then lower your heels. Heels lift, lower the heels. Heels lift, lower. So sometimes it takes like a lot of trials here before the body really kind of figures this out. Lifting, lowering. If this just feels really challenging, you know, the great variation is to move over to your wall and just have a little touch on your wall and then lift and lower. Like, I am barely touching the wall and it can help so much. Lifting up, lowering. But there is something about that deep strength, kind of the core, that we have to wake up when you do this without the wall. Really forces that issue of the kind of physical unifying. Everything working together. And then as you release, the arms come down, feet a little bit wider, and move back to that twist. Arms now just swinging. The arms are not working to lift at all. You just get that nice Heart still light. Like, really sense that center of the heart area lifting up. Good. As you release, we're going to do some little variation on some jumping. And please make sure right now that this involves kind of a strong exhale, almost like blowing your nose. So you might want to blow your nose. So you're going to take your hands, your arms are lifted, your hands are right at the level of your collarbones, and you're reaching your elbows out to the side. Palms are facing down. So we're gonna jump. There's a jumping here and a rotating of your pelvis. So it's gonna look like your toes are pointing one direction than the other, and there's a strong exhale through your nose. So you can watch and join in when you want to. So I'm going to start jumping. Pause, arms come down. Just breathing, noticing how that felt. There's kind of a lot going on there. That through your nose, one thing to be aware of is you could inhale through your mouth. Like, that's okay. Ideally, you're inhaling, exhaling through your nose. We're going to do one more little round of that. You can stop if it just starts to get uncomfortable. Okay, so arms coming up as you're ready. Release, arms down. Just breathe however you want to. Notice this might feel like a little woo, like a little lightheaded. That's okay. That's what happens when we really stir things up like this. Kind of getting into those corners of the body. On the retreat I was just leading, I know some of you were there, but we talked about things that are undigested within us and how this movement, this kind of powerful stuff, can really get in there. So yoga does have this, like, we're kind of digesting, like, all of this undigested stuff, whether it's actual food, emotional experiences, grudges that we hold on to, stuff like that. So this can, in an unspoken way, just get in there. So now we're going to take a big inhale up. As you exhale with the inhale up, exhaling. Do this in your own way. It might be more of a sigh. Bringing in then whatever kind of level of vibration you want to bring into this. We'll just do 3 more. As you come up, be still, mountain pose, close your eyes. Practice standing tall, upright, effortless effort. Not leaning forward, not leaning back. Now, bring yourself up towards the front of your mat. And we're going to move through a little fluid sequence here. So we're going to start with palms together in front of the heart. Ground the heels. Maybe that little lift of your front hip bones. Lift right around heart center. So if you're lifting at the center of the heart, that's not really so much your breastbone. Right at the center, and this really can lift up that space in your throat. Space in your mouth. Arms come up. As your arms come up, move to your squat. So you're sitting, like slowly sitting into your chair pose. Any pose that we move into, really notice how it awakens a certain, strength. Like the spine doesn't accidentally lengthen here. You have to be aware of that lengthening. Go ahead and fold all the way over like you're draping over your thighs. Drop your head. So this is probably like a big stretch for your back. Move back to downward facing dog. So feel your hands, hand bones. In your down dog, looking back to your feet. Feet are parallel, ankles are parallel. And then just like we did in the beginning, where you're aware of the tops of your thighs. So let the tops of the thighs really press back. And as they press back, same idea where like your pubic bone drifts back between your legs. We're going to briefly do that incorrectly. So let your pubic bone drift forward, like towards your breastbone. And just notice physically how that feels. It might lead to almost a lifting of your navel. And the thighs drift forward. Now, as you start to reach your pubic bone back, even away from your belly button, and the tops of the thighs drift back. So this is the action of downward facing dog. I know, it's a subtle awareness, an awareness that we usually don't bring our awareness there. Moving now to your plank pose. So in plank pose, the legs really straighten your knees, arms straighten. There's a lift of the navel. So in a way, now you do contract and lift your navel. You lift around your stomach even, your breastbone. Now, as you lower to the floor, you might lightly touch your knees down first. And as you lower down, let your legs extend back. So when we lower to the floor here, pretty much all of the time, I will start with awareness of Cobra Pose. Before you even lift in Cobra Pose, you could be aware of your pubic bone grounding down. Like it's indenting the mat. And then you lengthen and lift. Keeping the pubic bone grounded as you explore. Like really great curiosity here. Like, how does this feel today when you lift a Cobra Pose? You know, what happens even just like in your belly, in your gut? The space around your heart as you're lifting your heart, and then you lift right up at the very top of your throat. And just to play with this a little bit, lower down slightly out of your cobra and just walk your fingers out to the sides. So with your fingertips on the floor, way out to the side, start to move your shoulders where you slide your shoulder blades forward and then you slide your shoulder blades back. You slide them forward, you slide them back. And really getting into this big movement back and forth. And this can help to really start to move around any tension that you hold in your upper back. This one I also like to do side to side. So you just bring your right shoulder and shoulder blade forward, and then you switch. The right shoulder goes back, the left shoulder blade slides forward. And as you do this back and forth, moving your shoulder blades. I like that visual. Like I'm kind of reminded of if you've seen images of a large cat, like a panther or a jaguar walking, and their shoulder blades like do this giant back and forth. And you might feel too, like the shoulder blades are not really connected to your back or your ribs. They just kind of slide around, and so that area can get kind of sticky. So we just bring in this sliding motion. And both shoulders way back. Your heart reaches forward. Take the hands back to the mat. Let that help. Pull your shoulder blades down. And then as you release this, the toes tuck under. You push straight down into your hands. There could even be that practice of like a reverse push-up, where you push straight down and just lift up like through your plank and back to your down dog. So as you breathe and feel, maybe rearrange a little bit your chosen position for hands and feet. You might lift your heels way up in order to, and take your feet a little bit further apart in order to really gain a sense, like there's my pubic bone going back. Keep the crown of the head kind of reaching forward. So you lengthen and open the front of your body. Very lightly touch your knees down. Keep your knees close together as you go back to a child pose. So there again is a little rounding of your spine. Therefore, might feel like a little stretching of your back. So come on up, all fours. So you are on all fours. Your hands are just right under your shoulders right now. And we're going to take the knees close together. We're actually going to do a little work here right on all fours. You're going to take your right leg and just reach back. Straight back. And let your right foot just circle around back there. Just let it move. While you align through your neck, your throat. Still lighthearted. And then as you bend that right knee, point the knee out to the right side, but then just circle that leg around. You're just circling your knee around. You're circling your thigh bone right in your right hip joint. Let it circle a few times and then reverse the direction. Go the other way. Really just breathing and moving here and playing with just that mobility, just getting that hip joint moving. And now bring the right knee down. And let's take that left leg straight back. As you reach your leg back, make sure that gravity doesn't just like sink you down here. So you push into your hands, you lift up through your arms. Even your whole spine doesn't sag into like a hammock position. So we get that lift and reach your left leg straight back. Circle your left foot around. Light-hearted. So we become like more certain, like having a body is difficult. Doing this work. But then we also become clear. We see the goodness of doing this and spending time taking care of our bodies. Now bend the left knee and it kind of points out to the left. And then just circle, just get that, imagine that left thigh bone just moving around. There's no rules other than try not to collapse down here. Get like the whole body is present. Circle the other way. Breathe. And just taking that left knee down, you might feel here very naturally on all fours, you feel pressure in your wrists. So when we reach the hands forward, when we prepare for down dog, notice the transfer of weight up to your fingers, and possibly what it's described as the horseshoe of the palm. So this horseshoe shape that goes from the two outer wrists, like all the way around the base of your fingers. It's like that curve of a horseshoe. So the horseshoe does not include the center of the wrist. Okay? So try not to crush the center of your wrist as you do down dog. Lift up. Long neck. Lift the hips, pubic bone back, thighs back. The very last thing really that we practice here is like your heels reaching down. Now lift your heels way up, and we're going to step that right foot. Take a big step forward. As that comes forward, move right to your crescent. So the crescent pose has to really grow in its own way. You push into the floor. As you start to lift up, you possibly rearrange your footing here so that you can grow. When you feel solid and stable, start to lift up, back leg straight. Lift up through your spine, lifts the heart center, and you start to reach up. But the whole time, there's part of your awareness that stays at your feet. So you're very certain, I'm grounded, I'm stable. Just the right lifting up. You might even have your arms at a totally different position because your shoulders are instructing you. So all my job is to help you take your awareness into your body and follow. But also, it's like that wholeness. Your whole body is here. Reach the arms now out to the side, and you're just going to lean forward and move to your tree. And you could practice like one step yourself, just go right into your tree, watching, like observing your body as your body decides on the tree pose. Like, where is your left foot going to go? You're a little warmed up. Maybe it's a slightly different position. Or where do your arms go? Stay grounded. Move from stability here. If you move, if your ego is deciding, the ego wants the biggest, best ever. So you might find yourself toppling because the mind is not unified. There's this deep sense of calm because you're grounded, and moment to moment, like appropriateness. Whole body doing this. Heart is light. And even as you start to come out of this, like your arms come down, you stay tall, you stay strong. And as you let go, that left foot is going to step back where you came from, and see if you could maybe land and just open to your crescent again. Right into it. Find your feet, back leg nice and straight. In your crescent pose, just lightly take your right hand down onto that right thigh and take a little side stretch. We have to have our little Psoas moment. Because my Psoas is my new complicated relationship. And I find this is a little prevalent in human bodies, where we get that time of getting that nice deep stretch through. This is that left psoas area. Your back leg is straight, left leg straight. You got a lift of your ribs. Yeah. Now, as you release this, as you let go, that left arm comes down. You're going to drop your back foot. That left foot just drops down, and you're going to rotate so that you face left. You might peek down and just see or feel that your feet are now parallel. Let's take hands behind. Interlace your fingers behind you. Straighten your legs. Even like your tailbone kind of drops down here. Light heart. Draw your shoulder blades together. Maybe lift your arms up away from your back. So we're going to move to a forward bend. You hinge in your hips as you go to your forward bend. Breathe. Legs are strong. Arms start to lift up as shoulder blades draw together. And then start to bend your right knee. And as you bend that right knee, your head, almost like crown of the head, starts to reach towards your right foot. So important that you keep practicing yoga where you stay really connected to your body. Like if your arms lifted like this is painful or stressful, you could just take your hands down to the mat. Go ahead and straighten your right leg and then bend your left knee. Shoulder blades drawing together. Breathe. Staying grounded. And as you straighten your left leg, you push into your feet and you come all the way up. As you come up, really feel that uprightness. Strong legs. Arms release. You release your fingers and you just reach your arms out to the side. Let yourself move now to warrior two. So we're going to open to the right. Your right foot opens towards the front of your mat. You bend that knee. Breathe. Your back leg straight. Lifting up. Throat, there's space. So with the light-hearted quality, it can, really move into the throat, that freedom and spaciousness in your throat. I'm going to take the back arm, it's going to lift up. You're just going to rotate to face the front of your mat. Bring your hands down, move back to your down dog. So we're going to just stay here for a little bit. If it makes more sense to be on all fours or child pose, please do that. Just let your body choose. Lift your heels way up. And we're going to prepare for the left foot stepping forward. Okay, as it steps forward, you're going to move to your crescent. So we have to lift up. As you lift up, rearrange. Find that position. Back leg straightens. Moving. Just let this just gradually grow and blossom. Lifting up through your spine as you're ready, the arms kind of unfold and move. So the heart can stay light, the throat really soft, open, communication. Eyes are calm. So there's this really simple pleasantness of being fully here. As you reach the arms now out to the side, tree pose. So let yourself lean forward and possibly like that one step. Transfer. Give your body time to move into the tree pose, that placement of the right foot. Where would that foot go? Where you can really maintain this sanity, this lightheartedness, not too serious, but the mind is alert. Like you can tell what really works, what doesn't work. Feel the whole body. Now, as you start to let go of your tree, stay tall. Keep the heart light as you step your right foot back, right into your crescent pose again. Feel the earth, keeping that back leg. It works. It's straightening. So here that left hand is going to touch down to your left thigh. We go into that lovely stretch, deep stretch of the psoas, where your top arm, that right arm, is going to kind of reach up and over, and it'll feel like a side stretch for your right side. But not only the side of your torso, but actually the side of your spine. Breathe, feel this. It might not take a lot of side bending here, especially if you keep your back leg straight and a lift of your navel. As you release this, as that top arm comes down, the back foot, right foot drops, and you're going to rotate to your right side. So wide legs. Then, lift your toes a little bit here so you can feel your feet. So we will do the same thing again. The hands come behind. You might knit your fingers together in a different arrangement. Straighten your legs, lift your heart. So shoulder blades draw together. Maybe lift your arms up away from your back and start to hinge forward. So when you hinge forward, you're going to untuck your tailbone. Try not to let your tailbone scoop under as you go to your forward bend. And I know this can be a lot of sensation for your legs. Breathe, feel. Keep your shoulder blades drawn together. We'll do the same bend of your right knee. And just imagine that the crown of your head could go towards your right foot. Breathe. Feel the doing of this. The shoulder blades drawn together.
Even your left leg, that kind of intense stretch there. The breath. And then switch legs. This practice really trains us for like intense moments in our life and how we can breathe and open to them, make clear decisions, take a moment, a breath, a pause before we overreact. Straightening both legs, push into your feet, come all the way up.
And as you release your fingers, you just reach your arms out to the side. Strong spine. Open now, left foot to the front of the mat. Preparing for warrior two. The right foot even points in a little bit. So feel the bend of that left knee as you're bending. Your spine is strong. You keep the heart lifted. So what would it feel like, that quality of lightheartedness? There's that physical aspect where right at the heart center is light. And then there's our attitude. We're very clear of this friendly connection with the mind and the body. And the back arm, the right arm comes up. And you pivot back to down dog. So the hands are going to come down. You step back. Moving to your plank pose. Move onto your belly. Now, go ahead and reach your arms back. Reach your legs back. And lift now to that really small Shavasana locust pose. Lifting your leg, but reach them back. And there's kind of a pull, like you're reaching back through your legs. You're reaching forward through the spine. Now you could, as you lift your shoulders way up, you could keep your fingers on the floor. As you draw your shoulder blades together, if it feels better for your shoulders, arms, to keep your fingertips touching. Because it's a really different work. If you lift your arms, you reach back through your fingers. Whole body breathing. Ah. And transition back to down dog. Very lightly, knees touch down, and you find yourself back on all fours. We're going to take the knees and just open the knees out to the side, keeping your toes towards the center. And keeping the spine long here, we're going to take just a twisting action where your left hand stays down, but you're going to reach your right arm way out to the side and lift and open your right shoulder and just let yourself rotate. Open up. And take that right hand down. And then that left arm starts to reach out to the side and open up.
and release down. Now do this back and forth. Keeping the spine lengthening, the yes, the heart light. Shoulders back away from your ears. We're going to go into a very basic threading the needle pose. So the next time that you lift and reach your right arm up, you lift your chest up, and we're going to take that top right hand, and as it comes down, you're going to thread that hand under your left arm. So the right palm is up, and it's reaching, it's going to reach, 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 reach way over, and you're going to land on your upper right arm. Now you might adjust because that upper right arm and shoulder should be near the center of your mat. And then very lightly, you place your head down. Lengthen your spine. Just get that feeling of hips reaching back. Now, I like to take my top arm, my top left hand, just off of my mat and push into the floor a little bit to assist my top left shoulder opening up rather than drooping down. And this is going to open across your chest. Maybe rotate into your twist a little bit more. So breathe, feel here. Neck is comfortable. You're not dropping your shoulders towards your ears. And just bring that left hand back to your mat. Push into that hand to come all the way up. You might even just take that right arm, just reach up again. So notice how that twist felt. As you take your right hand down, yes, the left arm is going to reach out to the left. So it's really good to play with placement here. Aware what your hands are doing so you get that space through your neck. And as you thread through, as you're threading through, you're actually keeping the spine lengthening. Like try not to like round your back as you're reaching your hand through. Could you keep a length of the spine as you're threading that left hand through? Left palm is up and you just land on your upper left arm, left shoulder towards the center of your mat. Lightly the head down. You're on the side that like your left ear pointing down. Breathe, feel spacious. That top right hand could move just off of your mat and press into the floor. Open your right shoulder. There's no compression through your neck, around your skull, brain. Bring your right hand back to your mat and just push down and come all the way up. Taking yourself now back to all fours, hands under the shoulders. You'll take your knees a little closer in and just start to roll through some cat and cow actions here after that twist. And we're going to go now on to the back. So the back is when you're laying here, it's a great the great extender of your spine because your floor is probably flat. So as you recline here, we'll just do our little back and forth where you bring the right knee into your chest Hmm. Flatten your shoulder blades as best as you can. Extend your left leg. So we just get that real neutral, like pulling through the body here. Feel the whole back body really lengthen against the floor, that just right, pulling your right knee into your chest. You're able to breathe to your belly, space around your heart. Really relaxed face. You might even close your eyes now as you switch legs. You just bring the left knee in and really extend that right leg out. Like pull through that bottom straight leg. Almost to the point where there's a little arch in your lower back. As you let this go, you're going to take your arms way out to the side, bend both knees. We'll do our Shavasana Preparation, where you take your feet and you walk your feet out to the edges of the mat, possibly even off of your mat, and just start to drop your knees back and forth. That really slow, kind of floppy, really breathy. This is a great way of just feeling this kind of melting. Even your head kind of rolls back and forth in an easy way. You're clearly not forcing anything here. Might be easier to really breathe to your belly. Like there's that assimilation, that digestion, anything undigested. Now move to Shavasana. It's good to prepare, do that preparation, that arranging. It's a kind of a chilly day here in Minneapolis, and um, you really do. You want to be really cozy. Once you find just that physical pose, um, take a few deeper, deeper breaths. Feel the space around your heart. When we lay on the floor, very naturally there's space around the chest and the heart. Not forced. Even as you close your eyes, that you notice there's a real softness of your eyelids. So there might be this kind of almost a doorway in when you bring awareness to your eyes. Oh, I could soften my eyes. And as you soften your eyes, feel like there's a little space around your forehead and even inside of your skull that
space around your brain, that natural pleasantness that can arise after we've done this physical work. Completely drop the weight of your head. You might notice this takes practice moving into this present moment experience. So just notice I'm laying on the floor, whatever pose you're in, that the body is motionless. And there's a sense of being relaxed. And we start to just look closer, aware of your throat. Oh, throat, soften the throat a little bit more. Let it release any tension. Bringing awareness to your arms, maybe the weight of your forearms. And just let them drop down. And be aware of that space deep in the body, in your belly. Deep in the belly. I'm practicing softening, letting go of any tension in my belly. Even your lower back. Your lower back might not be really touching the floor, but the lower back still releases down. The hips, area of your hips, buttocks just relax down. Legs melt. They might kind of flop open a little bit more. In Shavasana, we become really familiar with the repetition of coming back. You might now just feel your whole body. Your whole body. If words help, you could practice just a kind phrase like, May I be free of tension. It's a very straightforward, beautiful wish. Or imagine this space around your heart. May my heart stay open, light. So I'm just going to invite you to transition and let go of corpse pose, Shavasana. Really, as we recognize there's a time for doing yoga, for doing our practice, and then there's a time to not do yoga. And as we bring then this more, maybe a balanced energy, into our life, and as we relate to everything that comes up, everything that comes our way, may we sustain this quality that we're developing of lightheartedness. Let's take palms together in front of the heart. In this way, may all beings benefit from our efforts. We'll close with the sound of Om. We'll take a deep inhale. Thank you so much, friends, for taking time, joining here together and practicing, doing this work together. And yeah, it might feel like, here we've been doing this for months online. But going forward, whether we're online or we're in person, it really is. This is going to be a practice for the rest of our lives. And yeah, so I just appreciate, every time we're together and how we learn something every time. And I'm just going to give the reminder, I'm just going to throw in that reminder that it's just so great that these classes are offered online. And if it makes sense for you, that if you want to give back and donate to Common Ground, that it's just this moment of reflection, like all of these things that are offered freely, and we really do this with the great earnestness of offering these teachings freely. They're priceless, so we don't put a price on them. And if you want to donate to Common Ground, I think on YouTube there's even a little thing that you can click. It says support Common Ground Meditation Center, or you might just know how to go to the website And when you donate, it will prompt you, it will ask you, like, do you want to donate to a teacher or a program? And you could, if you put Nancy Boler there, then how it works is that 2/3 of your donation will go straight to me, and then a third goes to Common Ground. If you have any questions about that, you can send a note to me or to Common Ground if you have any further questions. Thanks everyone. Thanks for your sharing your comments, and it helps me. It helps everyone just feeling our presence. Nice to see everyone. Yeah, sunshine and yoga. It is. I so deeply appreciate. I'm being illuminated. Um, yeah, well, let's see. Today's Friday. So I am holding Saturday morning class. I have my 9 to 11 wonderful 2 hour deep yoga experience. If you want to join that, you would go to my website, bowleryoga.com, and there's a link. There's a Zoom link there. So it's a Zoom class. Hmm. Keep the chat open here for a little bit if anyone wants to add a comment. Love to all of you and wishing you a wonderful practice and fruitful practice.